What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. And on this week's lesson, we're going to start unlocking the fretboard, and I want to show you how I approach learning scales. You know, I see a lot of talk about how to learn scales and how to approach scales and how to learn notes and everything across the fretboard. And there seems to be this massive divide against people who only play 3-note per string scales and people who play standard scales, right? And I'm here to just show you another way. So we're going to be in the key of A, right? A major. Now if you want to follow along, you can get PDFs or guitar profiles for this, and those links are down in the description below. And you can play each scale 3 different ways, and we're going to play them 1 octave only. And then once you learn these 3 little octave patterns, you'll be able to go back to your 3-note per strings and back to your standard scales and realize that they're made up of these smaller octave patterns. Okay? So let's do this. So like I said, 3 ways. We can play with our first finger, we can play with our second finger, and then you can either play with your ring finger or your pinky, I guess depending on how it's comfortable for you. Alright? So let's rock. So we have this A major scale. And we have a certain set fingering, 5-7-9, 5-7-9, 6-7. Now that's for number 1 with our first finger, number 2 with our middle finger, and we start it on same note. Okay, I just played the same exact pitches. One of the great things about guitar is that you can always play something more than one way, okay? And you should. Now I can also play those same notes if I start with my pinky on 5. So it's 5, next string is 2-4-5, next string is 2-4-6, next string is 2. So that pattern adds an extra string to it. Okay? And that is essentially it. That's it. Right? And you can do that for every mode or every other scale that you want to learn. Okay? And the great thing about this is once you realize the octave patterns, they start just running into each other, like I mentioned before. Okay? So, for example, let's run through these, and you'll see these all tabbed out. If I start on the first finger, well, I just ended my octave and I'm landed on my middle finger. So now what do I have to do? Play scale pattern number 2. Now I'm on my pinky, and now I can play scale pattern number 3. Okay, oh, I'm out of room, so I can't keep going, but it would. Okay? So now, the fingerings don't change. I know when you cross from the G string to the B string, you have to adjust for the tuning and play up a fret. Right? Just because the interval between these 2 notes is different than all the other ones. That doesn't change the pattern, that doesn't change the fingering, okay? Just the frets you're playing. Okay? Let's do that again. Let's start on pattern number 2. Well, here I've landed on my pinky, so now I can play number 3. Right? And let's just go through the motions here. Number 3. Now I'm on my first finger, so now I can play pattern number 1. There you go. And that is essentially the idea here. All these patterns run into each other, and you memorize them in 1 octave chunks. Okay, so no matter where you are on the guitar, you can either go forwards or backwards or ascend and descend at ease and with confidence because you know these. So now let's do some little parallel key work here. Okay, we're going to play some other modes based off of A, just so we can see the slight changes off of the major scale that we can apply to these. Okay, so if the major scale, we're now going to do mixolydian. Maybe you know this already, maybe you don't, but mixolydian is an important one because I'm going to follow up this lesson with, rather than scales, we're going to do chords and arpeggios. Okay, so the mixolydian is going to outline a certain type of chord, and that chord is important. Okay, so if I were to play pattern number 1, major. Now if I go to mixolydian, it's only 1 note different, and that note is down here. It's the 7th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in a major scale, it's a major 7th interval, and in mixolydian, you drop this one down, and it's what's be called a flat 7 or a minor 7. Okay? thing. Now let's just go through the 3 patterns so you can see what I'm talking about. 5, 6, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7. Let's go to the middle finger on 5. Now the third one. Okay, I didn't change anything. And then when I start practicing this on the guitar, it's only one note different. And if I know my 1 octave patterns, then I can just combine them and move through them, hopefully with ease. Okay? And now let's do one more mode, one more scale, just to get a different sound. Now let's do melodic minor. Okay? And now a lot of you are going, whoa, Greg, I don't know melodic minor. It has a hard time. The harmony is hard to hear. That's understandable. Most rock guitar players come from a rock background where pentatonic is the foundation of everything. And it still is. And that's really important. But the music we play, the rock music, the classic rock, the hard rock, the metal, the heavy metal, the death metal, the gen, whatever, right? The thrash metal, none of it really uses melodic minor. So your vocabulary, you have a hard time expressing this scale. Myself included, right? I grew up a rock and metal player, so I'm right there with you guys. All right? It's like learning new big words. If you don't use them every day, you won't learn them and you won't understand them. Okay? So let's jump in melodic minor. Off of the major scale, again, it's only 1 note different. So again, if the major scale is 5, 7, 9, that one, we're going to play the 3rd note differently and lower it by 1. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to go here. So again, just like the flat 7 or minor 7, same thing. The 3rd, the major 3rd from the major scale now becomes a minor 3rd or a flat 3. So anytime you see that, right, you know you're playing some sort of minor scale. So it's 1, 2, flat 3, and everything else is the same. 5, 7, 9, 6, 7. Everything else is the same. Okay, let's do pattern number 2. And now we can do pattern number 3. Okay, so just those 1 note difference. And then you can start applying that to the modes that you need, or at least that's what I would suggest doing, rather than going major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, right? Because every mode, whether you're off the major scale or a harmonic minor or melodic minor, each mode is going to outline a chord and give you a specific sound. Okay? So learn the scales of the chords that you like the best. What chords do you like? Do you like major chords? Well, then learn all the major modes. Do you like minor chords? Well, then learn a variety of minor modes. Do you like dominant or tension chords? Well, then go learn your diminished and augmented and all these other ones. All right? So I hope that helps you guys. Like I said, PDF and Guitar Pro can be found in the description below. And we'll do a little follow-up on the same idea, but we'll do some chords instead. As always, let me know what you come up with. And until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.